Hey guys, welcome to another Comics and Ramblings. I am just going to decide to take a break. It was getting very intense, right, with what I was doing with um, this new image that arrived in my inbox from our artist Francisco, and I was like, dude, I gotta seriously start working on the script because in the weekend he just said, hey, what's the next script? Get me the next script. I'm like, okay, I'll send it to you. I'm like, I've only got like a bit of an outline set up, right? Here's the outline, here's a story outline, here's the layout of like how the story is gonna go as a comic script, right? This is gonna happen here, this is gonna happen here. And so I said, hey, here it is. And next thing I know, I get this drop within a day, right, in my inbox. So it's really cool. And I really wanted to talk to you, to show you guys because this is really, it's really awesome to get some, like whenever I receive new artwork or prelimmed artwork from my artist, from the team, I get really excited because that means I got to get my A into B, as they say, you know, into gear, right? I get my butt into gear and start working. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start working on this now. I've had 2 weeks of stress with grief. We lost a loved one, and it's been really not helping me creatively because it's one of the things that, if you're a creative person, right, I can't talk for other people, but I need an emotional balance, kind of like a level-headedness when I go into writing stuff, because I don't want what I'm going through emotionally to be, to impact the story I'm trying to tell, or the story that the characters themselves are trying to tell. As I've mentioned before, I like to let my characters, tell their stories and get out there and move, kind of like fit into whatever it is that I'm trying to, boundaries that I'm creating for them. So here you've got Ruth, who's the main character on this one, and then you've got Fang, and because this story is called Fang and Fur, right? The first story, it's kind of like a two-part story. So I'm thinking like there's going to be 16 pages, because these are short stories for Robot Nation, right? So it's going to be 16 pages and another 12 pages. So it'll be 28 pages all up for the next issue. So we're going to do a change on how we present. Like I've tried to go through a platform to raise funds for my artists so I can sell the digital copy of the first issue, which is Robot Nation #1, right? But it kind of like it, I bungled up with the video I was going to do for it, and so it was too long. I got told, and I had my date wrong, the date wrong for when we're going to release it in print. So okay, I went and changed it, and then suddenly it's like, yeah, it's taking weeks and weeks to get this right. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to head over to I'm going to just go over to as a creative release, like a print release in 2024 in January or February, right? As soon as we can get our project set up on Kickstarter, we're going to go to Kickstarter. However, I wanted our our supporters, right, who are already there on Rising Sun Comics, and other people who support us, to get the comic to read over Christmas, the digital copy, right, to read over Christmas. So we're going to do a special thing, and I'm waiting for our CEO over at, our director over at Rising Sun Comics website to sort that out. So you guys will see this, go up there for Christmas, right? So you guys can download it, buy it, download it, and have it to read, but also give it as a Christmas present, right? I would really love for you guys to share this out to your family and friends, people who love comic books, right? And we're going to put a special prize on it because it's coming through Rising Sun Comics, right? And then next year, January, February, we're going to hit it out as a print copy only. Sorry, a print release, right? As well as digital print release through Kickstarter. That's where we're going to go. We're going to stick with Kickstarter, right? Because I'm just, I thought if we go on other platforms, it'll give us more awareness. But if it's big, it became too messy, right? So we're just going to stick with Kickstarter. It'll be under the Plunge Comics, Plunge Studios account over at Kickstarter. And then, you'll be able to see this amazing comic there, this awesome work we've done on this project, right? The artwork, I've said from the start, is a brilliant, brilliant artwork. It's really cool. Right now, we're trying to figure out whether we go color with this or whether we go, because it's one of those things you go, like, it's just as good in black and white, and it'll be cheaper, to release. But if we go to color, it'll be a bit dearer. So how do we make sure that we get the best product out to our supporters, as well as to get, the best support for it, whether we go color or not, all right? So that's that. So we're working right now on Robot Nation #2. I'm taking a break, as I mentioned, from writing the script. I've just written 6 pages of the 16-page script, right? So I need a bit of break, need a bit of, just to settle myself down, because then when I go back to it, I'll get fresh eyes. So I'm not, I'm having a good time writing it, because, like I said, I'm still dealing with some grief, which, and I don't want to, like, force a story out. And it's something that I think is important, that you don't force a story, right? That you don't, for me, right? I don't know how anybody else feels, but for me, I don't like to force a story out, because that means later on I'm going to regret how it is, and I'm going to have to, question why I put what in there. And I just want a good story to tell for people, right? And this one's, like I said, is centered around a female, right? A female lead. It's got a dog. It's, there's a reason why there's a dog in it, right? And so on. And it's really cool sci-fi, full on, really good stories. So, because that's all I want to tell you guys, right? I want to tell you good stories, good comic books, and good art. So, moving on. That's that, right? And we'll be talking more about that in the weeks to come, for the issue 2 and also for issue 1, right? So moving on, this just got delivered this morning. This is from the Mojo Legends from 2024. Hopefully they put that down here somewhere. No, 2006, right? So it came out in 2006. I actually thought it was 2004. I should have looked at the back of it, right? So maybe the variant came in 2006. But anyway, so I had the original ones apart from this, right? And so, and then I had, then I was able to get this, I think the belly piece or one of these other pieces through, through our New Zealand toy, Facebook toy groups. So of course, on the Marvel Legends collectors page, I was able to buy this for amazing price. And I thank you, to Aquila for the price, man. I really appreciate it. But however, I got 2 pieces for the price of 1. And that's probably because it was stuck together, right? And so because it's stuck together, I got to get used to looking over there for you guys. I apologize if I'm looking over here, because I'm not used to looking over here. I've just changed my setup. I removed this and I've put the camera on top of the screen rather than in front of it, because it kept getting in the way of me looking at what was going on the screen. So anyway, back to this. So I bought this about a month or so back in October, right? And we were talking about this on live stream and realized that it's a freaking variant. It's a gold variant. And so when my mates Rico said on the stream, you shouldn't open it, right? Like maybe approach somebody on the Marvel Legends page, which I didn't even know there was one, and see if they've got a BAF, right? If they've got the piece, which is this piece. This is the piece that I needed, right? As you can see, it's off this, right? And that's the piece, and the other one's over here, right? You can't really see, but that's, over here, I should say, right? And so there. So I couldn't see that, but I mean, I don't mean I couldn't see that. I mean, that's the part I needed. And so I decided, well, it cost me $75 New Zealand, which is around about $50 US, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'll wait when I get some money, then I'll put it into getting this other piece and see if anybody's got it. So I'm grateful that I was able to get that. And let me see who I bought it off. So the person I bought this one off is Drew, right? And I'm really thankful, Drew, from the New Zealand Marvel Legends page, group page for this, man. I really appreciate it. You just made my day, and thank you for the price for it. I mean, you know, it's so good, man. I'm really grateful that I'm able to, finally put this friggin' piece together. But the problem here is because just like my piece, right? This part here won't come off, right? So because if it does, then I could just attach that to it. So what I got to do now, and here's the thing, I should mention this, that I actually found this while op shopping one time, maybe early this year or late last year, and I've put the sellotape on it on the helmet here, as you can see, because as you can see here, it comes off. It's Tony's head, right? So I put it there so it stays on, so I don't lose a part, because that's the worst thing. It's like losing a little piece of something. But I was just glad I got that, and now I've got one that I can show. And yeah, so what I'm going to do right now, right, is let's hope that this comes off, right? So I'm going to unscrew these pieces here, right, and hopefully I'm able to put together finally, after, is that like 17 years? 2006, yes, it's 17 years. I'm finally able to have all the pieces. Please don't round off in the screw. Right, cool. Maybe my the screw was too big. So I'm hoping that, I don't know how this works, but I'm hoping that I'm able to detach, right? So there you go. So the two screws are able to detach that, and now I'm hoping that, I'm going to have to somehow figure out, again, how to get rid of this piece. So the problem here is there is no screw attachment here, right? So, so the question is there like a clip, right? So I've got to, let me see if I can get in there. And this is the problem with this, right? So am I able to get in here and detach this, or am I going to have to like break this piece off, which it really sucks, because like if I want to break that piece off, then if somebody, then I can the other thing is I could go back on the Marvel Legends page, say, hey, does anybody want this piece? Right, I don't need it anymore. Does anybody want it? But then I'm going to have to give them a broken piece. So I so I don't know how to detach this piece so I can actually put this on this friggin' thing, and I have a complete Mojo figure from 2006, right? Which is kind of sad, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to have this piece, but I also want to be able to give this to somebody else, right, for their piece that they might be lacking, because while I don't really like to hold on to parts that I don't need, right, because it's hoarding for no reason. So all I want is this piece, but I don't want to break this piece, and I don't know how to get this off. So I'm going to have to get advice from the Marvel Legends guys, right, on Facebook, or on our toys and action figure page, New Zealand page, that Carlos, right? Carlos is on there, and I'm gonna ask the other guys on the Marvel Legends page and go, how do I fix this, man? How do I get this off here without destroying this freaking piece? If there was a screw, right, just like this one, if there was a screw, or like two screws, right, I could easily take it off, right? But how do we take it off when it's like no screws? So anyway, one of the other things I like you guys help with is trying to figure out, is this a variant, Ushi? Now, the reason I opened it and found this is because last week I bought this, right, for $2 or something, $2 or $3 without the Ushi. But I like to collect these books because they have some really cool art, right? And it's just really cool to have because, it's a hardcover book. It's good condition. And I was like, what I'll do is I'll just put the back, I'll just open up one and see what a DC one and see if it'll fit in there. And now it's a complete thing. But the problem is when I opened it up, it had all this, right? And none of them have this on this, right? It doesn't show the gray, right? The gray with the yellow belt, right? You can see there's a black, right? That one up here. Let me see if you can see. Yeah, see that one there, and then that one there, white, right? But it doesn't have the gray, light gray and dark gray. So how the heck am I supposed to figure out what it is and whether it's a variant or, you know, it's a rare? Because they do over here say it's a common and you get sets of 4. You got a common, you got a blind bag common, you got a only impacts of 4, rare, and I don't see it, right? And none of these I see it, man. And I've looked 3-4 times now because I just want to make sure before I stick it into this and put it on my shelf for all time, right? Until somebody wants to go through it. I don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to kind of like bulk my, you know, bulk this figure. So, because I've got a couple others I can just shove in there, right? Open up and see if they'll be in there. But yeah, so if you know, let me know. But man, any of you guys, I'm on Facebook, you know where I'm on the Marvel Legends thing, and where I'm on the toys and action figures on New Zealand site. Let me know, man. What do I do? Do I break it? I don't want to break it. It's like somebody will, you know, somebody could really need this or want this, right? They might be looking out for it, and I'm not gonna break this just so before I know how to take it apart. But I mean, it's a weird design that, you know, like, I really don't want to destroy this, right? So just so I can put this figure on here, right? Because like I said, I would rather give this to, you know, to somebody that needs it, because there is a set out there, right, of Mojo, right, that someone doesn't have. So, and this is the one that they need. But if I break it, it's not going to fit theirs, and they're probably going to have to glue it on, right? But yeah, if you know how to take this friggin' thing off, I would really welcome you, you know, in the chat. Let me know in the chat later on. Reply to it and let me know what you think. But back to our, you know, to talk of the day, which is, you know, which is awesome artwork from you know, Francisco Conti for our next book, right? Next issue. I didn't really it was kind of I don't like give too much information about what the character looks like. I just say this is the book we're doing, this is how it's going to be, and futuristic settings, and he goes and does his own thing, and then he goes on. I know you said you know she's a Caucasian, but this is how I imagine her. I said, well, do what you like. And then of course I sent her him some shouldn't say her, some images, you know, who I kind of wanted to some of the characters to look like, because at the end of the day, you know, I want to sort of give them some ideas, right, for the characters that we're going to look at getting in. It was just, you know, because I wanted one of the characters to have the neck like that. And so he did that for, you know, he's got that, then another character is going to look like this, and so on. And then you've got the Emma here who's going to, I kind of want, you know, I'm not saying to look like exactly like that, right? But also one characteristics, facial features similar, right? Because at the end of the day, the more information I can give to my artist about what I'm looking for, characteristic wise, and what I'm imagining that I'd like to see on the paper, I don't have to worry about, hey, this is what the jawline is, this is what this is, the eyes like this, and the eyebrow. I'm not a novelist, right? I'm writing a comic book. So I just grab a picture, I go, something like this, right? Something like this. And he'll come back and go, this is what I'm thinking. And this is the joy of like working with such great talent, right? And so when I get, you know, when I get some, you know, when I get a piece of work come in like this, I get really, really excited because it tells me that, we got amazing, amazing stuff coming on, right? You know, I mean, just look at this. This is lead character Ruth, and just exciting, just to see something like this is really exciting. And I already know that I don't have to worry about like the costumes and stuff, and I'll just go, yeah, he knows. That's what's cool about working with there's the character designs, but working with Francisco, because he just goes out there hard out, gets us 1,000% to the projects we work on, which for me is amazing, because it means that when we come to offering this complete work to you guys right out here, around the world, through crowdfunding or through digital release, it's going to be really, really quality. So yeah, so look out for issue 2 of Robot Nation. We're about to hit put issue 1 on Rising Sun Comics website, right? So if you don't know where that is, I'm going to just grab you the website address, because I've wanted to get this out to you guys for Christmas, right? And it's been tough trying to get it out there. And so we just said, you know what, we'll just offer it direct from the Rising Sun Publishing Group website, right? So that there's no, wondering ifs or whats or buts. And then later on in 2024, next year, January, February, we'll have it set up for Kickstarter, right? We'll get the crowdfunding for the printed. So please check it out. I really appreciate your support, and thank you for watching. And wherever you are, be well, be safe, and hug your loved ones if they're close by, right? You never know what tomorrow's going to hold, or even today. So, be well, man. Like, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Ka kite ano.